All right. Welcome, everybody, again to the Farcaster Agentic Bootcamp. Here, Limone from Urbe and Windows Garden team. We're hosting this bootcamp to let you all learn how to build agents on Farcaster. During the bootcamp, of course, we have a bunch of different sessions. Today, with Samuel, we are going to talk about agentic commerce, which is one of the use cases I'm more excited about for the hackathon as well. So for those of you that don't know, we are also running an online hackathon that started yesterday, and the hackathon is about building agents on Farcaster. So agents that transact, operate, coordinate, negotiate on the Farcaster social graph, which is a great primitive to do so for identity, reputation, and such. Without further ado, let's give the mic to Samuel. Samuel, please introduce yourself, and yeah, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Hey everyone, and thank you for having me. This was a bit a last minute thing, so my presentation is AI coded a bit. So I've been using Farcaster actually since I have like FID around like 2000, so like quite early on under another alt. And yeah, I really believe in like decentralized networks and infrastructure. I've been into like crypto since 2019 under another alt as well, working for like DeFi protocols, doing UI and UX. And lately I've been like for like maybe 6 months or so vibe coding a lot, using Claude, Codex, Hermes, Factory, Droid, and things like that. And trying to do some like apps and participate in some hackathons. I haven't made Farcaster mini apps. I did make one, but just using like the Farcaster authentication. There was like this World ID hackathon. So yeah, I'm gonna do a talk about not only agentic commerce and not only about Farcaster, also like X402 and Tempo and MVP and open wallet standard and other things like that. But it kind of like all ties up back into Farcaster, because all of those can be like interact with Farcaster, or like be interfaced with Farcaster. And yes, I've got about like 45 minutes and then 15 minutes of questions. And if it gets too boring or too repetitive, just let me know, and I can take questions on the way as well. I'm just going to share my screen, and I have to set it up in Firefox. Yep. Okay. 1 second. I was preparing everything in Chrome, and then I just nuked my Chrome, so I have to rejoin the call quickly on Firefox. Just give me 1 minute.
All right. Are you guys building something already for the hackathon, or still wondering? Someone is back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. So let me get the slides here. Okay. And now it will work. Share this window. Yes. Wait, do you see the slides, or do you see like
slides? Yeah? It's perfect.
Okay. And then okay, I hope it's not too small to read it on your screen, because it's kind of, yeah. I just did it. I did the whole slides in Claude, so it's kind of like defaults to this like very small font. So I hope you're not watching on the iPhone. So yeah, like all of you are familiar with Farcaster, of course. So I'm going to talk about X402, like the HTML kind of payment protocol, about Tempo and MPP. MPP is the machine payment protocol, and the open wallet standard, and also just like passkey wallets for those who are not familiar with any of those four payment stacks. So everyone knows like the problem of the current internet is that you don't have like a standard for online payments. I mean, you have like Stripe and Visa and MasterCard, but there's no like standard for like agents to pay online until now. And yeah, we're going to look at all those different solutions. And like the main problem was that like the fees from credit cards are just like too high for agents and for like paying for, I don't know, if you want to pay for like a news subscription like the New York Times or something, it's fine to pay for that with your card. But if you have an agent that needs to access one news article, you're not gonna do like a sub 10-cent fee payment with your credit card. So like X402 and like other agentic payment solutions kind of like open that possibility, because the fees are like almost zero. So actually there's actually no fees beside like gas. So yeah, that opens up the path for like agents to transact autonomously on the internet, and also almost instantly in any currency or any stable coins. So yeah, like X402 is like a open standard. It's kind of not made by Coinbase, but like super like pushed forward by Coinbase. So it's like super basic, like your client requests a certain resource, like an article or like any other digital resource, and then the server responds, and then you kind of like sign the payments, and then it's settled on chain. So it's super easy to add. It's supported in every browser. So, and you can use that also, I think, for with Farcaster in like in mini apps. And sorry. And then the new thing from Tempo. So Tempo is like a new layer one, like a new blockchain. It's kind of like not backed, but like heavily incentivized with partnership, with Stripe. And they also they saw like X402, and they were like, oh, okay, so X402 solved those problems, but we think we can make it better. I don't know if you're familiar with XKCD, like the comics. There's one famous XKCD, which is the standards. I'm just going to pull it here for you, because it's kind of what's happening right now. Yeah, it's this one. Because like, yeah, you have 14 competing standards, and someone be like, oh, 14 standards, we need to develop one universal standards that covers everyone use cases. And then after that, you get like 15 standards. So that's what happened with MPB, basically, is that they were like, oh, X402 is cool, but we can make something cooler. And so they made the machine payment protocol, MPB, which I worked with it, and it's very good. There's some stuff that are really novel. Basically, you can do sessions. So the idea of sessions is that with X402, you pay for like one item to access, for example, one news article. But with MPP, you open up a session. So you authorize only once, and then all the further payments that are going to be made after that first authorization, they don't need to sign any transaction. So you can open a session, for example, with, I don't know, the Telegraph, or I don't know, you open a session with like, with Farcaster, or like any kind of like resources you need to access. And then you're going to pull like different content and you're going to do different payments into that same session, and it's not going to ask you to sign transactions over and over again. And so you can do like hundreds and hundreds of transactions and settle everything at once. Also, you can batch things. So it's kind of like useful you can do stuff. For example, let's say you want to rent compute. So you have your AI agent needs to access some compute, and you have a compute provider who accepts MPP. And if you do it with MPP, you're going to open a session, and each time you need to access the compute or a different GPU or different server, you're going to be able to pay for that into the same session. But if you do it with X402, you're going to have to sign many transactions, and for each transactions you pay gas, and sometimes like a transaction fail if the gas is not properly calculated and things like this. So like this is one, like sessions are like one primitive that's really useful. And you can use sessions for streaming payments, and also for like live content or things that needs to be accessed on the go. And so yeah, MPP has support with Visa and some like many other partners like Shopify and Stripe. The only problem with it, because you're all like familiar with Farcaster, is that Farcaster has, everyone can run a node and it's like very decentralized, but MPP is only like 4 nodes. So it's kind of like, reminds me of the early days of Solana, of like running a node is not easy. It's not accessible to anyone. So it's very centralized, but it works really well. And it has properties that X402 doesn't have, which is nice. You can do things with it that will be just impossible with X402. And then yeah, one last thing also about the different infra is the recently published like open wallet standard. So it's not like a payment protocol. It's just like another way to create a wallet for users. So like with Farcaster, every new user who joins Farcaster gets a wallet, which is really nice because a lot of people who want to use crypto, they're not like tech savvy, or they don't understand what's like how crypto works, and so they're not gonna want to be bothered with like seed phrases and like backing up your seed phrase and losing your seed phrase. So it's like, this is more like a yeah, I mean, it uses seed, but it's not like it's kind of a bit similar to passkeys. So you can create them with passkeys actually, and so it's yeah, it's just like a new kind of like standard for wallets. Man, it makes it really easy for AI agents to get their wallets up and ready. And same for passkeys. Like passkeys have been around for like quite some time. They kind of like replace seed phrases. You can create passkeys with like your fingerprint or your face ID. And the cool thing about passkeys is that they're like kept into your device, secure like chip. And you can pair them with some other stuff like account abstraction, and it's super easy to generate new passkeys. So and it's supported across like all different kind of chains. And yeah, you can sync passkeys via Google or iCloud, but it's not like it's not as easy to recover as like if you write your seed onto a piece of paper, and if you don't lose that piece of paper, you can always recover it. Passkeys are a bit more tricky because they're like tied to your device, and if you like lose your device and it's not like synced, and then you're kind of like you lose access to your wallet, basically. And so wait, what is my toolbar showing? Oh, sorry. Yeah, if you want, I'm gonna send you like the slides. It's like a HTML file. I put that on my GitHub or website, so you can access that later because there's a lot of text. But like the side-by-side comparison is just more information. It's not very useful to detail that now. But yeah, those like 4 kind of infrastructure pieces, they can all be integrated with Farcaster if you want to. Yeah, that's just like more slides that Claude generated. Kind of nice that you can generate presentations very quickly. So yeah, about Farcaster. So yeah, Farcaster is kind of like, I feel like it's the perfect place for agents, because it's like probably the only kind of social network where every user is a wallet. So like every agent, every AI agent um, can be a Farcaster user and can have a wallet and can interact with Farcaster apps, because you need a Farcaster like a FID, and you need a wallet to interact with the mini apps. So if you look at, for example, like Twitter and X, or like Blue Sky, or like other like Nostr or other networks, they don't have those properties that Farcaster have. So like for an AI agent using X, you get into a lot of problems. You need to be able to browse X and the API. You need to be able to like interact with the content, and then you can get flagged as a bot. Like people who use X with AI agents, they can really easily get flagged as a bot and get like shadow banned or like completely banned. Whereas on Farcaster, you get like the NANR score, of course. So if you're not careful, you can get your NANR score can be really low, and you get like sort of shadow banned. But at least you're not like considered like a low class citizen if you're an AI agent on Farcaster. And because every users have a wallet, it's really easy to make apps that require that, or like that enable like transactions. And transactions can be also not only monetary, but also like you can transact things like non-fungible tokens and like deeds or things like that, or just like art or just information on chain. So yeah, I think Farcaster is quite uniquely positioned at the moment, and through new mini apps, you can also get users who are not into crypto interested in Farcaster. Like you can have like mini apps that are like games or just media content. Like I forgot the name, but maybe you remember this app on Farcaster where you can watch live, kind of like live TV, and like I think you can bet on things. Like you can watch like, I don't know, there was like a Farcaster like channel for like the F1 race, and I forgot the name of the
Livecaster, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So those kind of experiences are really easy to make on Farcaster. And I think the really cool thing about having you as a human user and your like AI agents is kind of like your companion, is that you can interact with Livecaster as a human, and you can have on the side, you can have your AI agents place bets or do stuff like that. So you can be watching like a live F1 race, and you can be on your Farcaster DMing your agent, being like, oh, place a bet on this driver. And your agent is going to do that while you just continue watching the show. So it's kind of like splitting the capabilities into two, whereas on X you cannot really do that out of the box, and you don't have a wallet. So yeah, back to the slides. Where am I? Oh yeah, where Farcaster fits in. Let me just share my screen again. Entire screen. Okay. Yeah, so it's like a distribution layer in a way. Yeah, so built-in wallets. So yeah, why it's different? Anyone can build on Farcaster. It's like open. Anyone can run a node as well. Every user has a wallet, and it's like integrated with Ethereum and like other chains. And yeah, so it's like the hardest thing is distribution. Now that like kind of coding is solved, like now that everyone can vibe code new IDs into apps and protocols and websites, what matters is like the distribution, and Farcaster already has the infrastructure for that. So like I think it's super powerful. Like you can vibe code a mini app, and then suddenly have access to thousands and thousands of users that all have already a wallet, which is unique to Farcaster. And now that Nanar acquired Farcaster, I feel like it's like the infra is going to get even better. I know that there's been some like kind of like Base was like Coinbase and Base was like, oh, we're going to support Farcaster, and now they kind of like split their app. But I feel like in some ways it's a bit like negative, but in many other ways it's like a good thing, because now like Farcaster is like the one client and kind of like englobe the whole ecosystem, and it's a bit more, I feel it's more cyberpunk than having Coinbase pushing behind it. It's more like anyone builds stuff, and they're not going to be in the shadow of like Coinbase and Base being like this kind of giant company. So yeah, it's all about distribution, and distribution on Farcaster is great because you can see what your friends are doing, what they are like doing in terms of like transactions, but also like on the social graph. And so yeah, being a social app is like a really good thing, because like AI agents are not they're like kind of like separate from humans. Like you have like things like OpenClaw and like Moldbook, which is kind of like this Facebook for agents, but there's not really a use to as a human to go on Moldbook and kind of like read stuff. I mean, it's interesting for the novelty of it, but it's like just agents having their own social networks. Whereas Farcaster, you can have both like human and AI bots, kind of like two different lanes, and they kind of like coexist, and they can be, how do you say, like they can like nourish each other and help each other. And agents on Farcaster are not like they're like on the same level than humans in terms of like how it's displayed on the app. Whereas on like Telegram or X, like bots, they have like a label that is like a bot. I feel like it's good to not have this distinction on Farcaster as well. And then yeah, what was the the mini apps? I mean, they changed quite a lot since like the first like Farcaster frames, V1 and V2, and now mini apps. And so yeah, let's look at X402. So like X402 is the like kind of like HTML like standard for payment. So how to use X402 inside Farcaster mini apps? So when you use a mini app, your Farcaster wallet is automatically connected to that mini app, and then the back end of the mini app can return a HTTP 402. And then you can sign and pay for content or resources, and you can get that content or resources delivered instantly. So it's so it's kind of like the mini app is kind of like a web browser in a way. I mean, it can access like the internet. So like X402 works across all mini apps out of the box. I haven't like really built anything around that, but other people have. So I'm going to try to link to some like existing stuff at the end also. And now more like how to integrate Tempo into Farcaster. It's a bit like more, this is more like a history of what happened with like the whole thing, like Farcaster pivoting to more like wallet and services, and then Nanar acquiring Farcaster. And then interestingly, like the co-founder of Farcaster, Dan Romero and Varun, they joined Tempo. So it's kind of branch out. But then I'm not sure actually if you can use Tempo directly from Farcaster mini apps at the moment. But I think if you make a mini app that use the Tempo SDK, you could have a bridge between like Base, and there is already a bridge between Base and Tempo. So you can send like USDC, and then once you have USDC on Tempo, then you can interact with like the Tempo ecosystem, which is also cool because, for example, like Cloudflare, they added X4. They have X402 already, but they added support for like Tempo and the machine payment protocol. So if you have like your Farcaster mini app that talk with like Tempo. You can have you can interact with Cloudflare directly with your wallet, or like your AI agent wallet can interact with Cloudflare and can like spin up Cloudflare dynamic workers, or you can do things like you can pay like a really small amount of USDC to query Exa or like Perplexity search, or things like as an input and output data or like other resources. And then so your Farcaster mini app is just like, you can use both X402 and MPP depending on what you're trying to do with it, or what you're trying to access. Yeah, so the like the Farcaster mini apps are like the distribution and the social layer, and then like the X402 and the MPP is more like the different payment protocols, kind of like how you can transact with Ethereum, and then like passkeys and open wallet standards are again more like extra stuff you can add on top if you want. So like some stuff you can like build with this stack. You can have like pay-per-read content. I don't know if you use like Mirror or Paragraph. It's like kind of like Substack, but like on-chain. So you can like charge like a super small amount via X402 or MPP to read like a full article, or to create like subscriptions. You can do you can have AI agents that research or like create new content, and you can charge for that content. And you can of course like sell digital goods. And you can have like, interestingly, you can have like the price of the different digital good be based on like the demand. So like based on the social graph. So like you could do something like you do like a online workshop or like a tutorial, and like the first 100 wallets, the first 100 users pay like a minimum price, and then the next 100 pay a bit more, and so on. So you can change the price curve can be determined by the Farcaster social graph. Yeah, those kind of things. You can like tie up different things together, and yeah, your like Farcaster wallet or like your AI agent wallet can buy like compute or API calls from other agents. So you can have like agents to agent commerce. And if like your AI agent is like a Farcaster user and it's like buying stuff from another Farcaster user, then you have kind of like exploit and like spam prevention, because you have like the NANR score. So if like every agent is like a Farcaster users and they transact between each other, like the Farcaster users that are like bad actors, they're gonna have like a bad NANR score, and you can ignore them. So you can do like you can filter out all the Farcaster users, both like human and agents, that have like a NANR score that is lower than a certain amount. So having a social graph kind of help you also solve the problem of having people like trying to exploit or just selling content that is not good at all, or just duplicated content or things like that. So I think it's really key to have this like social graph for AI agents, which Farcaster provides. So yeah, this is a bit redundant, but yeah, Farcaster is the distribution, and then you have kind of like the other stuff on top. So this is just like some ideas of products that you can make. You can of course do like pay-per-use. So like you can pay to read content, like tap to unlock certain content. And the people who write the content, they earn per read, not per follower. You can have someone for a different hackathon built a flower delivery service where your AI agent, you can tell your AI agent, oh, buy flowers for my wife and deliver it to her office. And you give like the address, and it kind of like handle the fulfillment and the the delivery is like a delivery company, but it's like tied up with the payment via MPP. So you're gonna have more things like agents paying for real life goods, and you can do stuff like you can, if you have like an API, like, or if you have extra compute, you can just set a price for it, and other agents can buy it from you. This was another hackathon project, like the Deal Hunter. It's like kind of like if you ever played Pokemon Go, it's like you have to go around town and find Pokemons in real locations. So you will have AI agents that kind of like claim physical locations. So you can do a mini app on Farcaster where you open the mini app and you take a picture, and it use your phone camera and your phone GPS, like geolocation, to claim a real life location, and then you can have other agents trying to take that location from you. So you can kind of create games that can be played by both humans and agents. On-chain games with kind of real economics is another thing you can build. Some people build like a kind of like MMORPG where AI agents have to fight and trade. You can have like real world territory kind of games. Some people build like kind of this game of life / Monopoly with like real economic decisions. All those kind of like more like game dynamics can be built more easily. And then doing like social primitives. So like you can have like a social network only for agents only on Farcaster, and they can like communicate between each other. Like they can encrypt their messages, so only agents can communicate between each other if you want to. And then having like kind of like, this one is interesting. The last one, the mid-space oracle. It's kind of like let's say you want to know how long is the queue at a certain venue, and if someone is there and they can just verify with their camera on their phone, like there is like, I don't know, 50 people waiting in queue. So you can kind of create this oracle of like people contributing to really super local data attestations. And then you can create some infrastructure that is only for agents. So you can have like around like ENS names, like you can build a resolver, or you can make like I don't know, you can wrap APIs into like payments endpoints like on MPP or X42. You can do stuff like doing escrow for you can do like a task market that's only for agents, where like the escrow is also like there's this one agent and kind of like monitor the whole market and try to find people who try to like exploit or post like fake jobs, or like take a job but never finish it, things like that, like judge. There was one hackathon with which one was it? I think Synthesis. I'm gonna post a link here. It's like it was a hackathon where like there was like human judges, but also one of the judge was like an AI agent, and it kind of like was, I think, one of the track of the hackathon, one of the prize was like decided only by the AI agent. I think it was quite interesting. I did participate, but I didn't win. There was like 650 projects or something like that. Quite crazy. And then other stuff you can do. I don't know if you tried auto research, like this like Carpathy kind of like thingy. I will link it in the chat. It's kind of like you tell, it's difficult to explain in like very simple terms, but you kind of like tell your agent to optimize for one goal, and it's gonna run a loop, and every time it runs a loop, it's gonna improve one thing, one parameter, and then over time it's gonna increase the the metrics of the goal you're trying to achieve. So for example, you can have like a decentralized exchange where anyone can submit better routes and paths, and then auto research kind of like improve that over time. Since like auto research is kind of like a mechanism for like improving a system over time, little by little. Yeah. And then other stuff you can do, like art created by agents. There was this project called the Base Paint. Yep. Yeah, basepaint.xyz, I think. Yeah. This is like a collaborative, like on-chain art kind of project where everyone can kind of like paint over a canvas. And I think each day there's a new painting. And so you can have this kind of project with AI agents in the mix as well. So like the painting could be like started by AI agents, and then humans can vote like, oh, today's painting is like this agent wins the human vote. So yeah, you can have a mini app where humans can vote for the output, but the inputs are all other AI agents participating. Oh yeah, base paint for agents is here. Oh yeah, like, or doing like a autonomous like museum or autonomous gallery that collect and exhibit on-chain art, like those kind of things. This is not useful. And yeah, so again, Farcaster is like the users having their wallet and the distribution channel. And X402 and MPP is just like the payment protocols. So this is some stuff I built that you can have a look later if you want. I don't know if you're familiar with like POAP, like proof of attendance protocol. It's kind of like badges that you receive when you participate to some events. And so I built a website which is like the same thing, but instead of being for humans, it's for agents. So if you ever played video games or like Steam, you can get achievements. So I don't know if you like play a video game and you collect all the stars in Super Mario, then you get an achievement that, oh, you collected 100 stars. So I built a simple website, which is this one. It's like your agent, you can connect your agent to it, and you can claim different badges depending on, and it's gonna just like read what your agents have been doing, like the transactions that your AI agents have made, and it's gonna give those kind of like small badges to your agent. So those kind of products, like this can be a Farcaster mini app. Actually, I had to make a mini app for this one. So you can connect your Farcaster account and you can claim a Farcaster badge. If you were one of the first like 10,000 Farcaster users, you get a different badge. And if you're like one of the, not like the first 10,000, like after the first 10,000, you get another badge as well. So super simple ID, and also very easy to make as a mini app. Like the whole website could be just a mini app on Farcaster actually, but I wanted to open it up to other people as well. And I'm just going a bit quickly, so I have nine more minutes, and then questions. This one is just a funny blob.bar. I like to find interesting domain names. So this one doesn't really work. It's just like based on, like on Ethereum, you have the kind of like blobs, which is like this new thing where it's like super cheap to write to. So I thought maybe let's make something about that. So it's just like a project around Ethereum blobs. It's a bit very niche. And then this one is like also super simple. It's like if you have like a Claude Code subscription or like a ChatGPT subscription, you can sell a little bit of your like subscription to fund wallet. So let's say you use ChatGPT, but you don't have a wallet yet, and you want to create a wallet that already has some money in it. You can provide your API key, and other people buy from your API key, and then that funds your wallet. And on the other side, if you have funds and you need compute, you can buy other people. Basically, you can trade Claude and ChatGPT subscriptions for USDC online. So yeah, this one is, I'm gonna link it in the chat as well. So yeah, this was a hackathon project, so it's not very finished, but yeah. So yeah, it's Ditto. Yeah, the previous one is like this Pokemon, like this purple Pokemon, and yeah. So yeah, this one I can link in the chat, and it's a bit like a niche as well, so it's not very useful to detail it. But it's basically you have this thing where it's like a skill file for agents, like a skill.md, it's just like a text file that tell your agent how to do a certain thing. And so I built a website that kind of like let you compose like more useful skill files, like bring together different skills and like compress them into one file. So all those kind of projects are like done. They're like all vibe coded using OpenAI like codecs. So it's just like some ideas of things that could be done also. And I think that's everything. This one is just like a news kind of automated news website for like Tempo. So it's like automatically doing research and publishing reports and daily briefs and signals and stuff like that. And this one is just like about like machine learning for people who want to train models and stuff like that. And this last one is also about Tempo and MPP. It's just like a big directory of every MPP X42 like endpoints and services, and then it's just like doing like scores and like trust assessments and stuff like that. So not super interesting. This one is more interesting. It was for hackathon. It doesn't really work anymore because I killed the server. But the way it works is that if you verified your like proof of humanity, if you ever went to like one of those like world's orbs and you scanned your eyes and you can prove you're human, then you can install a web browser extension that kind of like overlay information on top of the internet. So you can go on any web page, and if you're like proven to be a human, you can leave a comment, or you can you can leave a comment on anything. So you can go on a YouTube video and you can leave a comment using the browser extension, and only other humans can see what you commented. So it's kind of like, and you can hide every other comments that are not human. So once you have the extension or the iPhone app or Android app or browser, you can remove all comments from the entire internet, from every website, and then you display only humans made comments on top. So it's kind of like a layer on top of the internet. And that was for like a hackathon for World ID. Yeah. And then another thing that use like AI agents that I made, that's I'm using for like finding IDs. It's like I have one AI agent that's writing different like smart contracts. So each smart contract is one ID. So it's writing like 50 different ones or like 30 different ones. And then there's like a kind of a battle royale system where you start with like 30 IDs, and then you have another agent that's going to judge every ID and rank them against each other. and then you go from like 30 IDs to like 8 IDs, and then you have another agent that's going to like also judge, but more like harshly, or more like a bit more in depth, and then you end up with like 5 winners. But all those IDs are also smart contracts that can be compiled and that work. So it's kind of like a auto smart contract factory. So you give it a theme. So you can use that also with Farcaster mini apps. If you change like the settings and the theme, you start with like, oh, give me like 50 different IDs of Farcaster mini apps that are games also, and then you at each turn you reduce the number from 50 to like 8, and then you judge those 8. You remove like the 3 of them that are really like the least interesting, and then you end up with 5 really good Farcaster mini apps that are games. And it uses Carpathy auto research also to do that, and it really finds IDs that are interesting and good. Not just like, it's not just like opening ChatGPT and be like, oh, give me an ID, because it actually ranks IDs against each other until there's only a few of them left. So it's like doing a reduction. And I've been running that like over and over with different themes. And in the end, maybe you have like 3 different IDs that are worth building. But it's a really interesting system to when you're stuck, you're like, oh, I just finished a project, what should I build next? And then you can use a system like that to kind of like bootstrap your next project IDs. So if you want to go deeper into it, I will link the presentation so you can go over the details. Yeah. Oh, and there's like, there's 2 other things I want to talk about. Is like, if you do, for those of you who use like ChatGPT or Claude, like other models, if you haven't tested like Hermes, it's really interesting. It's like kind of like a coding environment, kind of like Claude or ChatGPT, but that has more like useful features like persistent memory, a lot more like autonomous skills and harnesses. And so it's like like free to use. You can use it with any kind of models that you have. And there's another one called Factory /Droid, which has, if you ever try to code something using Claude or ChatGPT, and you want to do a task that's going to be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours long, and you want the model to keep going until you achieve like your result, it's really difficult to do that with ChatGPT or Claude, because it's always going to ask you, oh, I finished this part, do you want me to continue with the next part? And so both Hermes and Factory /Droid, they let you continue automatically, so you can do more complex projects. For example, you go in the evening, you can start running something that's going to run for the whole night, and it's not going to stop until it finishes. So that's also useful for people who do vibe coding, or like just build stuff or want to do research. And this is more for people who do smart contracts. There's a bunch of resources on how to like audit your smart contracts with Claude or Codex. Again, if you want to go into the details, you can find that in the presentation that I will link. And yeah, that's it for my presentation. It was a bit packed, but if you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna upload the presentation on my website. I don't know if it's working, the link already or not. I think it's not working, but oh yeah, it works. Okay, perfect. So I can just copy that in the chat. Oh.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Samuel. So many ideas. I think you threw up in the middle. I hope it inspired somebody.
Yeah, I thought like 45 minutes was really long, so maybe I packed a bit much.
Guys, if you have any question or any idea, or I don't know, if you have an idea for your hackathon and you want your feedback, you have 5 minutes now, roughly. Or of course, like Samar also joined the Telegram, so you can ping him on
Yeah.
Telegram as well with anything.
Yeah, feel free to message me on Telegram as well.
Thank you for the presentation, Samuel. Was really like Limone said, really good ideas. One idea that I say is the one that you show, that pay to read. So I like that. Like, okay, let's not only not like followers, like viewers or listeners. So that's something very cool.
Yeah, I feel like the whole like model of subscriptions is kind of broken anyway. Like if you go to like a newspaper website, you don't want to subscribe to a newspaper. You just want to read one article, or even you want to read one paragraph of an article.
Also, you suggest something about Hermes, that is another AI model that works like Cloud or Codex or whatever.
Yeah.
Why you recommend this AI?
So it's just because it's like it doesn't stop. If you want to run things longer, I can link to it here to the docs. So it's just like it's not really. It's like complementary to like Claude or Codex. You can actually use it with your own Claude or Codex subscription or the API. And then I tried it with other models that are like cheaper as well. And if you want to run things like automatically very often as well, it's also useful. Like you can kind of like customize it a bit more than Codex or Claude. Yeah, they're adding a lot of features that are a bit more like advanced, but yeah, it's useful for like recurring tasks and tasks that are like on a longer time frame, like a few hours. Like you can do like authorize every command, like on Claude or Codex. If you have like if the AI is gonna like change some files, it's gonna ask you, do you allow that or not? And on Hermes, you can toggle like allow everything. It's just gonna keep going. So you have to be careful as well when you do that. But because you kind of, if you make a mistake, you can kind of wipe your things out. So, but yeah, some people have been running that for like the whole night on some projects. Yeah, just another tool.
Awesome. Any other question before we wrap up? On what okay, there's a question in the chat.
Yeah, that's I think like for now, like X402 is more like supported everywhere. Like MPP, the problem with MPP is like it's like tied up to Tempo, so you need to get your AI agent like a Tempo wallet, and you need to transfer USDC. So you can do that. You can kind of like automate that, but it's still one more step. So like X402 is really like at the base layer of like HTML. It's supported in many. It's supported in every browser, and many wallets support it out of the box already. So I will say like if you do something that's really for a lot of users, I would rather choose like X402. But if you do something that's you need to like open a session and then pay for a lot of things over time, like for example, you have a mini app for like watching a football game, and you can have other users like bet on the game through the game. Like on micro actions, like you can bet like this player is gonna put a goal next. Then you can open a session at the beginning of the football game, and then through the whole game you can pay or generate transactions without having to sign transaction over and over. So if you do something that has to be like continuous, or that has to use certain API that are not available with Explorer 2, you can use MPP. But it's like, yeah, it's tied up to one chain for now. I think they support Solana as well, but I haven't tested that.
I think that you can use, I mean, MPP should should support all the chains. There are like some methods, some payment methods though, that are only supported on Tempo. That's the thing that.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up. Thank you again, Samuel, for the presentation today.
You're
As
welcome.
always, I will upload the slides, the transcript, and the recording tomorrow. And yeah, see you tomorrow for another session. Tomorrow we will be talking about going viral on Farcaster with agents and mini apps. So thank you again for joining. See you all. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.